Hi, guys. Thank you for jumping back on tonight. So for a while now, I have been wanting to do something sort of exciting for you.
One second.
Okay, I'm good.
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. My internet sucks. So I've been wanting to do something exciting for you guys. You guys don't have to do anything. It's not a competition. No one's getting evicted. But I will share a clip with you and we will go from there. Jasmine, will you start the clip?
CBS's Big Brother, Angela Rockstar.
I feel terrible about being evicted from the Big Brother house.
Yeah. Oh, I like that, Rockstar.
Disgusting. I can't believe on my daughter's birthday.
I do not have a fucking
So
vote
who's
for her.
lying to me?
I have no idea. Somebody flipped a vote while I was on the block. True or not true?
Very true.
There we go. So we do have a special guest. And it is Rockstar. Rockstar, if you could pop up, please give a warm welcome to her.
Oh my God, Rockstar!
Oh my God.
I love you on Twitter.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
How
We
you
are
all
so-
doing? That was
we are
such
so
a
sorry that we're so sorry that happened on your daughter's birthday, by the way.
Oh yeah, that was spotted.
Oh my gosh, that was one of my favorite parts though, because that was really you. You were like, disgusting. I was feeling you because I'm a mom, but I would have did the same thing because I'm a New Yorker, and when it comes to the kids, we don't play that. So I was feeling you 100%.
That's that East Coast right there. That's all.
Yes, the
I'm
East
in
Coast.
Baltimore, so we're just down the street, you know.
Right, exactly. Well, no, I live in Philly now, so we literally up the street. Yes.
It's that East Coast, man. No, there's a funny story about that. Like, I was actually, if you watch it, you can even hear there's like silence, and that's actually me like cussing him out, motherfucker, blah 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 blah, like you bitch ass little da 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 da. And then I heard Casey behind me, and she said, "Rockstar, we're still live," and all I could think in my head was motherfucker. So that's why I was tripping over my words, and I was like, disgusting, because I just wanted to be motherfucker. Like, I will shank you. I will get you. I will cut you.
I like the background of your little setup because it looks like you're in a diary room right now. Like I like the background, everything. I love it.
That's why I love that.
Awesome.
This is my bed. So like I have a couple different streaming points that I've set up. Like this is one of them. This is the most comfortable though, because I have a memory foam mattress. So
Ooh, fancy.
Oh, yes.
Big brother. Big brother gives you the big bucks.
oh yeah, right. I wish. My bed is nice though.
You're literally one of the coolest house guests to follow, by the way. Like after
Oh, yeah.
Big Brother, I follow you for
Absolutely.
updates. Love you on Twitter. So.
Thank you so
Like,
much.
I feel like you're one of like the few Big Brother, like modern Big Brother players that's like legitimately a fan of the show, and you say like what we want to hear and things like that.
For
Like
sure.
it's so good.
Agree. Yes.
It's funny because like a lot of people like, so I do a live stream during the show that I like just kind of kicked on this year, and I don't obviously show what they're showing, but I have like a group of people that come and watch it with me, and like everything that I say on there is like live to the episode, and then maybe like an hour later, I go on Twitter and I type some of the thoughts that I had that I thought were funny, or like a one-liner or whatever that I said on the thing that like I thought was funny, they thought was funny. I'll go put it on Twitter and I'm like, oh my God, Twitter's saying the exact same shit. So it's like, it's funny that there's like this group, it's, you know, a group think, or like what everybody wants collectively. It makes you feel like a team, like we're all in it together.
Yeah.
I like
Like
that.
it's like coming full circle. Yes.
So I wanted to ask really quick, since we're here, some of us probably want to be like in the Big Brother house eventually. I know I do. So like, typical question, but do you have any like tips for us to like make the casting video like stand out?
So I have my casting video on my YouTube, and it literally is just like, I mean, it's such a cookie cutter fucking thing to say, right? Like, be yourself, but legitimately, that's literally what they want. They want people that are like unique, that represent a certain area or thing or archetype, but still are themselves within that sphere, whatever it is they're looking for. And I would also say that if you're somebody that's applied before and you get frustrated, like, oh my God, they didn't pick me. Something I learned when I was a kid, because I used to do theater, like plays and dinner theater and you know, theater shows as a kid.
Right.
Sometimes it's not even you, it's that you didn't fit into a particular cast, and they may have a different cast that would work better for you. So then when you send your tape back in, they're like, oh my gosh, this person, yeah, we remember them. They're gonna actually, they're the person we've been looking for to fit this specific thing that we want in this group of people. So sometimes it's not just about like the one specific person, but about the group that they're putting people into, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know, no one knows, whatever, we can only make assumptions, but I would say, like, I feel like me personally, I was an oddball on my cast, but I would fit in amongst this cast of people that they have currently on BB23. And I don't feel like I would be such an so like, that's just I don't know that that's really
that is so true.
It's just
it's like we see a whole different rock star.
I can see you in BB23 for sure. Now that I think about it,
because a lot of my problem on my season, and a lot of why I was so like edgy and moody, is just because these people on my cast at that time, or maybe just, they weren't trying to know me, they weren't trying to understand me, they weren't trying to vibe with me, and I was trying to vibe with them, but there were walls up of like, you're a fucking weirdo. And so like,
like that before.
What's that? What's that?
I said I've played games where that's happened to me before, where you try to connect with someone and they're just like, fuck you.
So it's like, that's another thing that you can't even prepare for. Like, once you make it on, who else is in the house with me? How are they going to vibe with me? Are they ever even going to give me a chance? Right. That's a whole other level of, but just getting on the show, I would say I suggest sending in a tape. 100%, not just because of COVID, which has really changed everything, but when you go to a casting call, it's very easy to get lost. The casting calls are fun because alumni show up. You might get to meet them. You might get to meet another person. People do get cast from casting calls, but with a video, you get to watch what you said, ask somebody else about it, then do it again. You liked what you were saying, but you said 3 times. Okay, let me say exactly what I said and record it without those 3 you know, right. And then you send that in, and that gives you 3 minutes as well, where if you're in a casting call, they're not going to give you all those 3 minutes. You're going to go in a group, they're going to ask everybody in the group the same question, and if you for whatever reason stick out to them, then you stick out to them, otherwise you're out the door. But they watch all of those videos that you send in, those under 3-minute videos. So that's under 3 minutes to explain who you are, what you're about, and why you think you would be perfect. You know? Does that?
Yep. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. So I mean, if for the experience, casting calls are fun. If you actually want to be cast, send in a video. But you could be cast from a casting call too. It's just easier to get noticed from a video, I think, because they're sitting there watching them.
Oh yeah, because you have something to go off of with a video. With a casting call, it's like, okay, this person's cool in our interview, but like, what personality do they bring? What do we see that they didn't show us today? You know, there's so much more to go off of with a video.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that, and you don't even really need to edit in anything. I mean, you can do a cool video where you're throwing stuff behind yourself or editing pictures and stuff. But mine was just me standing in front of like a white wall and talking about who I am, what I'm about, and all of that.
Did you apply like a couple times, or was this like your one time and you got in?
Yeah, I had Isaac, who was a surprise. So I had left my nightclub management job. So I got pregnant on an IUD, and I was just sitting around with my mom, and I was like, Mom, what should I do? And she was like, well, you know, Angela, you should really audition for Big Brother. And I was like, Ma, you've been saying this since like 2001. Fuck it. You know, let's go for it. So I just like recorded the video, sent it in, and they called me 2 weeks later, and then I was like, I said, I've never seen this show. Should I watch it? And they were like, yeah, you should watch it. And I said, okay, well, what should I watch? They were like, watch season 16. So I started.
It's true. They really do say that.
So I watched all of 16, and I called my mom, and I was like, Ma, exactly what about this lying, backstabbing ass show did you think that I would be perfect for? You know that I keep it real, 150. Like, where do I fit in this motherfucker? And my mom was like, well, you know, Angela, I just think they'll really like you because you're such a character. And I was like, okay. So so then I went on Twitter real quick, and I was like, so if I'm new to Big Brother, what seasons should I watch? You know, that whole thing that pops up every so often. And people were like 6, 7, and 8. So I watched 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, and 14 all during the audition process. And my family thought I was batshit nuts because all I did was watch this fucking show and dissect it and try and figure out like what I could do to work my way. I assumed that I was going to be like a cool Enzo kind of mom, like that people would just be like, oh, you're dope, rock star. Like, okay. And you're a mom, like, cool. Like, we'll listen to you. We'll take advice from you. That's where I thought I would fit. That was who I thought, like, but not exactly. So
you had your own little thing. So it worked for the fans. So.
Cool. I mean, and I actually, like, you know, there's some people I don't talk to at all, but like most of the people I'm friendly or at least cordial with. We just had that boxing match, and I was hanging out with Casey and Fessy, so that was cool because I had never connected with them on a sporty level. So that was fun to like switch that up, you know.
Would you play again if they contacted you? Would you go on again?
Oh yeah, totally. I don't know that Chris agrees with me, my partner, but it's a lot of money. So like I don't think
$750 now.
I'm not built like that to turn down that kind of opportunity. You know, I'm not. So I'm not above saying that either.
Okay. Get your bag, sis.
Yeah, I've got 4 children aside from myself, and that's a lot. So yeah, no, I mean, sure. I say yes. I would talk to Chris, but I'm probably.
So what was it like being in the house versus watching it on the television? Like, what were the expectations versus like reality?
I think that like the biggest thing for me was that the edited show, because I hadn't watched live feeds, remember, because I just had only watched whatever like I could find. I didn't even have the Paramount. I was doing this shit on YouTube, watching and studying. I was like, let me not get this in case I don't get cast. They're not getting my money for this audition process. Anyway, so the biggest difference to me was that you don't get to go outside barely ever. Like it's like a day or two, but the way that the edited show pulls it off, it looks like everybody's laying outside at least, you know, that you can go outside at any point in time. They do all the comps in the backyard, and those comps take about 4 days to build, and then they break them down, and sometimes you don't even see outside like all week. And that drove me kind of insane, because one of the coping strategies that I had planned for myself was, if people are getting on your nerves, walk outside, take a fresh breath of air, and kind of look at the moon, look at the stars, go find your, you know, go sit on the plastic grass and find your peace. And that piece was not available to me, and I wasn't aware that that it wouldn't be. So that was one of the, I guess, that was the biggest surprise. And also, I think that watching the show, I was like, what is wrong with these people? Like, why are they crying? Why are they in love after 2 days? Like, the fuck is wrong with them? Like, what did they do? So who cares? You're on a fucking TV show. Like, what is this? This is stupid. I'm not going to be like that. Meanwhile, I like go in there and I'm like, I will cut you motherfucker. I hate you. Like, so it's very real on levels of real that you just will never even understand. And I think that, like, without doing it, and it's just so insane and warped, and you can't even understand, because there's other things like you'll be up all night scheming till like 4 a.m. or something, and finally you lay your head down and you get that first, like, you've fallen asleep, and then you hear Rockstar to the diary room, and you have to go and answer questions, and you're not even like fully functional. You're kind of sleep deprived. Perhaps your eating is off. Maybe you've been on slop, which is fucking disgusting, and definitely like not. I'm a fruits and vegetables person, so that was not cutting it for me. That like gruel. No, I was not happy on the slop. And so I think there's just like a lot of little things that they do to mess with your mind. Sometimes you'll go in there and like the way there's a storyline, obviously, they're putting something together. So like, oh, Rockstar, Bailey won HOH. Do you feel safe? Well, shouldn't I? Why are you? Yeah. Why not? You are not?
I thought I was.
Saying person behind the camera. What kind of question is that? I was just in here cheering for her. Obviously, I did before this conversation. Like.
So they plant.
Is there
like
a reason I shouldn't?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And you don't know. You don't know. There were times where I wanted to stand up and be like, but a part of me also had an awareness that like I am on TV, and if I stand up and I make all these bold claims and then I'm a fucking dumbass and I am wrong, I don't want to be that either. So you like walk this weird line even with yourself and your own intuition in there.
So I just wanted to ask really quick. So is kind of going with what you just said, but is it like really easy for you to forget that the cameras are like everywhere? Because I feel like some people forget completely and then they say something terrible, but then I feel like some people like they're aware. So I'm like, is it easy, or are people just like, I don't know,
People that say terrible things will always eventually say something terrible.
Okay.
The cameras are there. Yeah, you can. I mean, they make noise like when they move. Eventually, you get comfortable enough that you don't care that they're there, but you're never not aware that the cameras are there. They are, you'll, and, I mean, like they're fucking loud, and it's kind of creepy at first, and you're like, stop that, like what the fuck. And I mean, and then for me, like there were at certain points in that fucking show, like I just got so agitated because I would try to have like a conversation with the camera, and then like the other Angela Rummans would walk out, or Haley would walk out, and the camera would go from me to immediately just follow them. And I'm like, fuck you, motherfuckers.
Wow.
They really did you dirty.
They, you know, cute girls sell. I get it. I'm like, you know, but I was trying to play the game, and I was trying. You can only do what you can do, and you can only do your best. And as you like, you never know who you're going to be in there with. You never know what other deals people are playing. I think being in that kind of truly paranoid space was really weird for me, because I've always in my life I would say a rather insanely large friend group of people that I trust, that they trust me, and that is because over years and time and decades, because I'm 38, we have trusted each other in our dealings. And, you know, like whether it be somebody, a coworker from work or somebody from school back in the day, it was very strange for me to not be able to trust anyone, and to know even more that other people were not trusting me. That was a fucking weird space to exist in, especially as a family person and a you know, extroverted festival, I don't know, communist or whatever. So I'm not really a communist, but I have been to some communes. I don't think that's the same thing.
No. Similar idea, but it's not.
It can't be. I'm just not a communist.
Rockstar, I just wanted to say, I do like that you use your platform for good causes as well, you know, and very involved and all that. So I do appreciate that, you know.
You know, I love people, and I think that a lot of times, just in general, people don't love themselves enough, and that's easy because the world tells you 50,000 ways to hate yourself, right? Like that's fucking easy. So I think that all of that, it really can project outwardly. If someone does not like themselves, if you can't look in the mirror and go, you're fucking cool, I'm stuck with you, so I might as well love you, you sexy bitch. You know, like if you can't get there, then you're going to be looking at other people that may have gotten there like, fuck this motherfucker. Like, why do you feel so good today? I don't, you know, and so I really try to, yes, be definitely an ally for people, but I kind of try to understand on some levels why people do give out hate as well. And the only thing that I've ever been able to figure out is that they hate themselves. And so I really just in general feel like if we did more self-work on ourselves and promoted that, and I'm talking like dark self-work, like why don't I like me today? What is it about me that's not sitting right with me today? Because at the end of the day, lovers come and go, parents, you know, raise you, die, leave, whatever. Your kids, the same thing. They go on to leave their own lives. You're stuck with you. So you might as well love you. You're stuck with you, life to death. Might as well love you. And then you can really love everybody else out there, because people are fucking beautiful and cool and artistic and interesting and have stories that they've overcome or things that they're going to overcome. And life is so full of endless possibilities and tragedy and beauty. And it's an incredible ride, you know. Sorry about that tangent, but
it's true though. I feel like mental health is important, you know.
Yeah,
for everybody.
100%.
That's always top priority.
Mental health and wellness, and just like I think that it's so easy to it's easy to look at somebody else and be like all the things that they're doing wrong. And it's a lot harder to look at oneself and improve those things. And me as a person, I've always kind of been on that exploratory journey of how to be the best me that I can be so that I can help other people be the best them that they can be. And then we're just living in the best world that we can live in, because why the fuck wouldn't we want that, right? Like,
Right.
Like the goal.
In general. But I don't know if, you know, all my ramblings are what you all were hoping for, but I am
we just
happy
love
to
it.
be here.
We love it.
Keep rambling.
What's your take on this season? I love that it's very, you know, historic with the Cookout Alliance and whatnot. What's your take on like the moves that are being played?
I love this season. I think that every single person came to play that game. And I absolutely love that. From, you know, even the first evictee, Travis, was really trying to stay in the house. He did a lap dance for somebody's birthday in a dress and heels. They're fabulous. I love this cast. I think they're funny. Yep. I think that, you know, definitely some of them have gotten some HOH-itis as we've gone along, but that's kind of part of the fun ride. Like, what psychologically happens to you when you have power in
I have to say, like,
situation.
I feel like this season, and I'm not just saying it because we're here, but like I feel like this season, girls in general, like in this group, they came to play. Like Sarah Beth and Tiffany, like it's impressive. I love that.
All of them.
Yeah.
Not one of them. They've all got their own strategies. These are game playing people, and I really like that. And I think it's been fun and interesting to watch, and not just for the history of it, although that is very exciting and different and changes the trajectory of a show that has made me actually be very proud to be on the franchise, because, or, you know, a part of it, because I don't want to be linked to anything awful. Right. I think it's been, I mean, people are like, it's a steamroll, and maybe, but
I don't think it is at all, because there's been weeks where they're not in power.
Yeah, I think there's people that like, there's still things that can happen outside of the Cookout. I think the Cookout is a great alliance.
Xavier's on the block. Xavier's on the block now.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. So it's gonna be interesting.
He ruined. Didn't know.
I know he just spoiled it.
Oh,
spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert!
Oh,
I'm sorry. I just assume people keep up with Twitter.
No.
No, Twitter. I love Big Brother Twitter because the comedy behind it. Like sometimes it could
hilarious.
It's hilarious. It's
so funny. It really sometimes you'll get like, you know, just your troll, but it's just fucking funny. If you have a good sense of humor, which you need if you're going on reality TV in general, because if you can't make fun of yourself, don't fucking go on reality TV, because people drag your name through the mud like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, do not. Mm-hmm. If you can't make fun of yourself or laugh at yourself, then that is not the thing for you to go on reality TV, because you cannot take yourself at least it's going to be really fucking hard when you come off of it, because no one will, it's not really to be taken seriously. Like, you can be who you are, and if you are serious, that's one thing, but it is like a campy fucking thing, and we all know what we signed up to do, and we're all kind of like that personality of like, you can drag me, but I can drag myself better than you'll ever drag me. So you know, yeah, that was cute. That was funny. I'll give you that one. Now let me do one even better. And I'm still making fun of me. Fuck off. Like, you know, but that's what I like about Twitter. So I always tell people at the beginning of the Big Brother season that I guess technically I'm a spoiler page, because I watch the feeds and I do talk about them. So Don't follow me on Twitter if you don't want to know what's going on.
I don't watch the feeds. I just read
So
Twitter.
let me ask you this: who do you want to win, and then as opposed to who do you think is gonna win?
So now that Xavier's on, well, now that you guys know,
We know, right?
that changes things for me, because, which doesn't even mean he's going home, right? But I thought that he has a very strong case to win because of the way that he's mediated the Cookout Alliance through a lot of interpersonal, like they are very different personalities, all united with a common goal. But if that common goal was not together, they probably would not have worked with each other. They would have probably worked with other people because they're so different as people. And Xavier has really sat down the different members and worked out those things in this amazing, what I'm assuming is a lawyer litigating thing that he does, you know, mediation. So I would have said he's got a very strong case. I want Tiffany to win as a mother, as I see the work that she's put in. She got a personal trainer before she went on there. She has studied the game. She knows what's going on. She's got a plan. I also, conversely, would love for young Hannah to win as a 21-year-old, just like who's also very strategic and young, and then coming in and playing a solid game. I really like DX. He's cool and interesting. I gotta root for Azah because Azah and DX are from Maryland, and I always gotta root for the hometown people. But and I understand her too. People are like, oh, she shuts down and she plays an emotional game. And I just look back at my own game and I was like, I really played emotionally and I really shut down into my room when these people were getting on my fucking nerves because I knew that I was about to pop off on them. So I understand that. I admire Tiffany's game because she's got an ability to separate, and it's hard, right? Because she's still crying when somebody goes that she doesn't want to go, but she's still very able to be like, this is not personal, this is game. And I admire that, but I think that I'm probably more of a Azah, like all said and done.
I can see that.
You know, but I can still look at Tiffany's gameplay and be like, oh, that's what I'd like to say that I would do, but
she's a savage character for sure in the game, at least, because like you said, she's able to split emotion and game, and that's what you need in the Big Brother house. I feel like
100%, because you have to. Only one person can win.
Right.
You can only take, there 3 people will be at the end. You know, do you want to sit next to someone that you absolutely adore and you wrote it out with, or do you want to sit with next to the most hated person in the house so that you assure you win? That's a whole other level of like getting there and how you play and what are you going to do to make sure. So you want to sit next to the most hated person in the house. Does that mean that you're knocking all your people out into jury? Well, they're going to vote for the most hated person now because fuck you just fucked them up. So like, there's like this whole, there's so many levels to the game Big Brother that I have become a very big fan of it because it fascinates me, not just the sociological experiment of throwing 16 strangers together and then filming them 24 hours a day and then expecting them not to do weird shit because we all do weird shit when we're alone. Let's be real.
Right.
And then letting people watch them do the weird shit, like literal animals in a zoo. Like all of that is fucking weird and it's crazy and it is such an incredible life experience that I did. But
I don't know the show like afterwards, like the next season and then the next season, do you like, since you've been on there and you can relate to them more so, is it like easy for you to make a connection with them and then, you know, get to be their friends and stuff like that?
100%. I don't always reach out to everyone. Mostly I do reach out to most people just to let them know that there are those of us that they can talk to, because it is a crazy ride. There are several people that not on this season. I've said hi to everybody on this season for sure. And there are definitely some people that I think I will like more than others and probably form some bonds with. From 21, I've become very close with both Kat Dunn and Jess Milagros. And that's like, it wasn't really unexpected. We've just really become very good friends. And I love that. I got to see I got to see Jess at the boxing match. And that was really cool because you meet these people that you've talked to online or talked to on the phone for hours, because Big Brother the experience kind of gives you a little bit of a PTSD and fucks you up a bit, so that you're like a squirrel when you come out of there. You're real sketchy and you don't trust anybody, and you're you're real weird at even family gatherings. Like, why is that table, why are they whispering about me? Do you know, did I what's going on over there? Why is that happening? And people in your family will be like, chill, they just asked to pass the mashed potatoes. And it's really, I mean, it fucks with you. It does for a little bit. I think it takes everybody about a year to feel normal again. Because you really don't see anybody else other than the other house guests. You hear weird overcom noises all the time. You expect that when you come out. It's weird. You're used to wearing a microphone, then you don't wear the microphone in the morning when you're out of the house, and you're like, this is weird. And I mean, just being a super sketchy squirrel when you come out of there is something that I want to let the new alumni know, hey, we all went through that. It's okay. You're not going crazy. You're going to be fine. It's a readjustment period. If you ever need anything, here's the number. And I do talk to a lot of them fairly regularly, but I did have people do that for me as well. And so it is not just like, oh my God, that's amazing that you do that. That's the reciprocated thing from the people that did it for me, that I now do that for other people as well. So it's a kind of support network that we have. And it's hard to explain sometimes because people don't really get it. I guess one person called it trauma bonding. And I mean, sort of, maybe it is like an awesome thing to go on the show. I don't want to make it sound bad, but it also really messes with you. So where we all connect in an understanding of what that was like and what the outside of that was like. It's really weird to, can you imagine coming out of your house and having somebody tell you specifically what you said to someone else 5 days ago, but word for word, and you don't even maybe remember even saying that, but they're telling you that you said it, and then pulling up a video of you saying it, and you're like, I guess I said that. I don't even, there I am, sure. It's a wild ride for sure, but I do not regret it. I would do it again. I would recommend other people doing it if they wanted to do it. I think you should do whatever you want to do in life, because why not? The only thing that's guaranteed in life is that eventually you die. Everything that you do in the space between birth and that eventual death is up to you.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So I remember Caitlin was in your season, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And she is a psychic, I have heard.
Amy is Caitlin.
I myself am a psychic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was
Lord.
I'm a
How
psychic.
psychic is she? Is that what you're asking?
Well, no, I was just wanted to know, what was it like for you playing the game with a psychic?
It was agitating, as I am a practicing pagan witch, and almost every friend of mine is a psychic.
Oh, wow.
It's a part of our religion to practice.
Wow.
To practice tarot reading or any kind of now I can't divination. Thank you. It's kind of a part of our. So it was kind of that caused actually a lot of ruffles with us because I looked at her as an inauthentic person. And that is because when I would bring up certain things that it was not, I mean, I guess I can only talk about, 3 years ago. I don't know how the girl has grown or learned or whatever. And we do not really talk because 3 years ago, I decided I did not want to because of probably what I'm about to say. She felt like the Cliff's Notes of my entire religion. Did you ever have Cliff's Notes in high school? You would read them really quick and take a test and fail miserably. That's
I felt like, I mean, I'm just going to pitch in a little bit. I felt like Caitlyn was kind of like trying to be like the stereotype of what you're supposed to be kind of thing. Because she kept on bringing it up and I was like, okay, you don't need to say it so often kind of thing. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I think that like a big...
Highest good.
Highest good. Right. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, then I guess you're going out on your highest good. I don't know. I mean, there's... A lot of people can say a lot of things, but if you don't back it up with knowledge or action, then I'm not really going to take you on all the things that you just said, and that's, I mean, like I said, that's no shade. I don't know where she's at in life. I wish her the best in her future endeavors. This is all speaking from now 3 years ago where I was at with that relationship and that Miss Cleo or whatever.
It also didn't help that she was wishy-washy too.
Yeah. Because it was funny. I was doing my meditation today and I had gotten your name. I had gotten the name Angie today. I'm like, I wrote it down too. I'm like, I don't know an Angie. Who's Angie? And then you were talking earlier, like, wait, it's Angie. And then a couple of weeks ago, I had seen a star during a meditation. I'm like, what's the star mean? And I'm like, I don't get the pieces together until it like kind of happens. And I'm like, oh, it's Rockstar.
Yes, I love that. I love that you're having visions of me. Never stop. No, I do tarot readings. I do them mainly for myself and sometimes at a festival. Sometimes I don't really like to do them for other people just because I don't exactly remember what I say. And people will come up to me and be like, oh my God, did you remember you changed my life with that? And then I feel like shit when I'm like, I don't really, I'm glad that you took that good advice that I gave you that I don't, what's your name again? Like, I don't mean to be that way. But no, I think it's cool. I hope that she's pursued honing those skills, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm trying to really be a better person and not speak bad about people, especially if I haven't to them recently.
We know what you're thinking though. We know what you're thinking though.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Who's your favorite house guest? Like, I mean, house guests, like out of your season, like out of Big Brother ever as a fan.
Oh my gosh. Okay. There's so many. Honestly.
Or
for
top
so
three.
many
Top
different
three. I know it's hard.
I loved Rennie and Jerry.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Aww.
I think that would I get along with them? Probably not. But I
Same.
love them as Big Brother house guests. I think that they are so both absolutely different from each other, just such unique characters. I really loved watching that season. Season 10. It's my favorite season. It's I think Jesse and Rennie. Jesse, who is now of Mr. Spectacular fame.
Yeah.
He was just a baby frat boy getting cussed out by Rennie on that season because he wanted to go to bed and Rennie clearly wanted to stay up drinking. And so I remember that very specifically, that like exchange between them. And I just thought like, wow, this is really good casting. These are really unique people. They're very interesting. I'm excited to know them. They're so different, And so, of course, Janelle
Yes,
I
love Janelle.
We both did it. We're like,
of course, Janelle, Rachel Riley.
Yes.
Another queen.
Oh yeah.
Gotta love the ladies. I love James Ryan.
yes. Yes.
I
He's
do.
iconic.
That's my friend. You know, Evil Dick. He's
him.
definitely
Love him.
a character that brings out a lot of feelings.
Yeah. He just doesn't
you
give a
know?
shit.
from a lot of people. Evil Dick in my finals, and it took them a beat to even get this joke. So we'll see if you'll get it. So I'm in my casting finals, and this is like the final. And it's all the producers, and they're like in a semicircle in front of me. And I said, so, you know, before I go, I just want to say something. And they were like, yeah, you know, go ahead. And I said, well, you guys had somebody named Evil Dick, right? And they were like, yeah. I said, well, I would really like to go by Good Pussy, please.
Oh.
And it took them a beat, and then they all just turned red and started cracking up. So like with me, they knew exactly what I was raunchy the entire. I was exactly who you see on Twitter is who I am, is who I was in the casting. I don't know if they didn't show that on their edited show so much because I'm a mom. They were trying to maybe protect me or whatever. But like who I am is always who I am. So I was always telling those crazy ass stories in the house. I was always just like being exactly myself. And CBS knew what they were getting because I did shit like that in my interview. I remember telling Evil Dick that, and he was like, "Oh, I like you. You're so weird."
Do you keep in contact with Evil Dick like often?
I do. Really? I keep in contact. Evil Dick, you know, somebody that's a very polarizing figure that I actually like a lot.
Same.
Season I never watched is Elena Davies. Nobody I don't know, like Twitter will read me to filth, but she's fucking hilarious in real life. I never watched her season. I don't know what she did to be so polarizing, but in real life, it's fucking fun. I don't know. And that's so weird too, because me and Jess Milagros were talking about that. There's like the fans will love you, but they will hate somebody else, and then somebody else's fan will vice versa. That like maybe some of our fans don't like. There's so many dynamics to the alumni like interlocking Venn diagrams that happen. Like people might not like somebody that you're friends with, and then but at the end of the day, like you're going to make connections with who you make connections with. If they seem to align with your, you know, sense of humor, your political beliefs, or maybe not even political beliefs, but at least humanitarian beliefs, then you'll probably align with them. It's very weird to think about if there was another All-Stars and then like going, or like a Second Chances season or whatever, if like going back in and playing with people that you already know, or at least have some semblance of, or perhaps even have an online beef with or something, just because you were both feeling froggy that day. You know, that's always something weird to think about for me. It's like when they had the All-Star season, I was like, God, that's so fucking weird. Because when we see each other at alumni events, there's always kind of this like, all right, are we really friendly, or are you just kind of like, it's almost like you're playing Big Brother again, even though you're cool with all the people, you're still like, you get on your sketchy dodgy. So it's interesting. It's blood in, blood out with Big Brother, I think, until the show ends. If you're an alumni, you're an alumni.
That's the goal.
Okay, guys, before we wrap up, we do have a cast member that could not join. He was having technical problems, but he does have something to say to you. He wants you to know that he adores you and loves you and quotes you all the time. and thank you so much for doing this for this community, and that he wishes he could be here, and that you're totes awesome.
Oh, that's so nice. And I love that you guys are playing a movie game. That's fucking cool. I was hearing a bit about it, and I love that. That sounds very fun. And I just hope you continue, in life to do things that you enjoy, and meeting people, and what a fun way to do both of those things by playing orgs like this one.
Exactly.
Right.
So
All right, well, we are going to wrap up. Cast members, you guys can head out. Rockstar, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Nice
I will
meeting
be
you.
back
So
soon.
awesome.
Love
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Maybe
Enjoy
you can
your
come back
game.
again to host something.
Yes. Oh, yes, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Endless possibilities.
Well, thank you so much, you guys.
Thank
And
you.
good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know how to leave.
It's okay. You can stay if you want.
I did it, I think. Wait, did I?
No.
No.
Okay.
You can just hit leave and then hit leave meeting.
I will do that. Did I do okay?
You
For
did,
you did great.
amazing. Thank
Yes,
You were
thank
very
you so
talkative
much.
and everyone loved you. So
Yeah, everyone was so excited.
Oh, good. All right. I sometimes, I don't mean to talk over people if they wanted
No,
to
it
say
was-
more, whatever. But thank you so much for having me. I think I'm gonna hop over. I'm like doing this live streaming Live It thing, so I'm gonna go hop over there, and I will see you all on the interwebs. And I love that little edit. That was so super. It touched my heart. So thank you.
Well, we love you, Rock.
Mwah, I love you.